What I like also about you is that you learned from two different mentors and then you created your own strategy. Welcome back to the CTI YouTube channel. Today, I get the pleasure of meeting Sigurds, who has recently participated in the TradingNut Funded Cup competition that is sponsored by CTI. You're going to hear his story. You're going to hear a little bit about his strategy and how he got on in the competition. So make sure that you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Sigurds, nice to meet you. Thank you for accepting this interview. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you. So tell us, where are you from, and how is the trading competition? How did it go for you?
Okay, so hi everyone. So I'm from Latvia, and I've been studying trading for about 5 years now, probably a little bit longer. My first year was just learning the basics from all over the place. My first year wasn't really that good, but I am very proud that my biggest achievement was probably not to lose any money, because I always understood the necessity of solid risk management. During my second and third year, I was studying the No Nonsense Forex YouTube channel. And there I learned probably the most about my whole trading experience, especially about risk management and trading psychology. And after those 2 years, I still really didn't find my consistency. So after a while, I started to pay attention to the ICT. And as I understand, ICT talks and teaches a lot about what you guys have in that bank level traders course. I think there are some similarities, probably about order blocks, liquidity, voids, liquidity pools, and stuff like that. Yeah, so I spent, I think, year and a half with ICT. I was studying his YouTube channel about 6 months, and then I joined his final mentorship course. So, and after that, I still wasn't really far in my development because I haven't really found my consistency yet. But after that, I started to, I was a lot in the backtesting phases back then. And I have to say a lot of thanks to VP from No Nonsense Forex, because I learned most about backtesting from him. It was a long journey, and only recently I found finally something that worked for me. And I sort of put together everything I learned from No Nonsense Forex and then from ICT, and I developed something on my own. Well, if we are talking about my actual trading strategy, it is based from 3 parts. So the first would be the risk management, then the actual setup itself, and then the trade management. I should probably share my screen.
That'll be amazing if you could.
So when we are opening trade, I am a 1% guy. So I risk 1% on my stop loss. So if we go long in Euro USD, right? So let's say we are long 1%. So that means that we are actually Euro long 1% and USD short, because we are interested in the fact that Euro will go up and USD will fall. This means that if we suddenly have the opportunity to go long, let's say in Euro pound, we can't take this trade, because then we would be over leveraged in the Euro. So here our risk would go up, and this is no longer acceptable to me. This is the one part I have to pay attention really, really much. The other thing is this trade, Euro USD, can go up in, 3 possible ways. So first of all, that means that Euro is going up and USD is going down. There could be a scenario where Euro is actually doing nothing, and USD is actually falling. And the third possible case is that euro is going up and USD does nothing. So why is this important? Just so we always understand in which currency we are over leveraged. If somebody who opens Euro USD and Euro GBP and Euro Aussie, we would be completely over leveraged in this one currency, Euro.
Yeah, definitely. So, in terms of leveraging a specific currency, part of your risk management is to ensure that you're not overexposed in one
Exactly.
currency. So, what pairs do you actually trade then? What
So
pairs did you trade for the competition?
I am trading all 28 currency major currency pairs. Well,
Okay.
sorry, all eight. So it makes 28 different pairs.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so that's probably it for the risk management. So what you have to understand is that I'm the 1% guy, and I'm always trying not to over leverage in one currency. Okay, so for example, if I see two setups in different correlated currency pairs, it just means I would open both positions with half the risk. So 0.5% in Euro USD and then maybe 0.5 in Euro GBP if both trades are long. So let's go further and talk about actual setup itself. So I am a trend trader and I trade the most basic shape there is. Most people call this ABC pattern. People call this 1, 2, 3 pattern, this thing right here. The way I look at this is it's just a market structure break. So what I would do is I'm only trading what I am seeing. So what I am doing is just I'm buying the breakout here. I am just leaving buy order a bit higher about this market structure break, so it would take me in on a buy stop. So what I have found is if we have two strong trend legs up, that would mean is most likely that a third one will follow. And there is a bit of an advantage here. This would be the third one. Well, people call this in a bunch of different ways, like impulse legs, impulse swings. I even no longer care what it's called because there are so many definitions. It's even not about the counting itself. The way I look at it is just the fact that this was our market structure break, and now we are in this well, let's just call it an uptrend where we could catch the most of the move right after the structural break.
This is really interesting. You're using market structure and you're using that shift in market structure. You're capturing the trade by
Well,
using that buy stop. So you use buy stop orders, which is
yeah,
really interesting because whenever you use either limit orders or stop orders, your system is very mechanical, it's very systematic, which is very important because in a way we are discretional, but at the same time you want to be mechanical, and so it looks like you have specific rules in place, which is great. This is what you need. It removes a lot of the emotion. So using like what you've shown us so far, how do you think about trading psychology? How does that come into your process?
my trading system is pretty much rock solid in case of risk management. It's a little bit subjective when we are talking about drawing trend legs themselves. So if we are actually trying to draw something, then if you have 5 guys who are trying to draw a market structure on a chart, you would probably have 5 different results, right? So this is a bit subjective, but everything else is pretty much rock solid. So when we are talking about psychology, it never really was the major problem to me. I'm probably just a person who is patient enough, or I really like the backtesting parts, just the nuts and bolts about this very precise amount of trading. So person has a problem where he can't manage his risk correctly, or can't calculate lot sizes correctly just because he wants to over trade or emotional trading or something like that. There is no cure for stupidity. I don't know what you want me to say. From psychological aspect, only thing that was difficult for me was the learning itself, the figuring out if I'm ever going to make it. Now that was hard.
Yeah.
Now that was something where just plain old endurance comes in. You just have to be strong enough. I really don't have any answers to these problems. But when we are talking about psychological problems that involves how to deal with emotional trading and over trading and all these problems, most I don't know, day traders are always
Experiencing.
experiencing. Sorry. I mean, it's such an easy solution to this. Solution is just trade your system and stay out of your own way. Your system just has to be solid enough. Basically, we could only have two types of trading strategies. The first one would be completely objective trading strategy, and the other ones would be subjective. So what do I mean when I'm saying objective? So let's say objective trading strategy would be just buying everything above moving average and shorting everything below. And it is objective because there is no other possible interpretation. There's just those two options. Subjective trading strategies are probably most scalping and day trading strategies, especially when you are ICT student. There are just so many possible scenarios that you have to figuring out, like weekly range, where are the liquidity pools, what are liquidity voids, which order block to choose. Now, this is all very subjective and based on your own personal experience. The hard part is probably to develop a system which would be somewhere in the middle, right? When you have something really, really rock solid, and then just a very tiny part of this subjective experience. And in my case, it's the way I draw trend lines. So we didn't really do anything in charts. So I am using Heikinashi. But I'm using it not because it's a great indicator or something. I'm just using it because it's a very down and dirty method of figuring out what is a trend break and what isn't.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And
yeah,
because your entry point is based on a breakout of structure. So,
yeah,
that's so I can see why you used these candlestick um these candlesticks as opposed to the normal Japanese candlesticks. So,
yeah, definitely.
okay, interesting. And so what time frames do you trade?
Okay, so I'm a very big fan of these a little bit alternative timeframes. So in competition, I used 2 hourly charts,
Mhm.
and currently I'm actually experimenting with 3 hour charts
Fantastic.
because
Okay.
I'm somebody who still has his main job. I have to go to work every day,
Yep.
and it's impossible for me to be in front of computer in very specific times. So I
Yep.
have to be very flexible with my
Yeah.
charts. Well, most people probably use like 4 hour daily and then hour and smaller. But there is a lot to be figured out in these alternative, let's call them alternative timeframes. In TradingView or in MT5, you can also find these 12-hour charts, 8-hour charts, 6-hour charts. I think they are amazing and they're definitely worth to backtest a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really good that you on the competition you hit just under 20%. This was a 45-day competition, and you managed to hit a very, very high performance. This is excellent performance. So, well done to you. What advice would you give a trader, just like where you are, you're working, you have a job, but also you have a good strategy, and you need to manage that in order to find success as a trader? What advice would you give traders in your position?
I think the most important ability for a trader is just endurance. You just have to be able to push through all of this.
Yeah.
Because there really is no simple solution. There isn't even a solution. Because during these 5 years when I studied, it was really hard because you're actually on your own in this game, and most people will most likely not believe in you. So I think it's just be very, very strong. And yeah, patience, most definitely.
All right. Good, good.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
have a good system. You've worked very hard. Your mentors are absolutely absolute geniuses. I have also studied ICT. Amazing, amazing content. You've come a long way in your journey. And so now it's a matter of continuing your self-improvement, continuing to improve. And like you said, you're already testing new time frames. So you're already trying to improve. And this is the qualities that a trader must have. And you recognize your mistakes and you try and find solutions to them. Your mistake was, listening to some advice that doesn't work for you and your system. And what I like also about you is that you learned from two different mentors, and then you
Yeah,
created your own strategy. And this is something that I've also done. So it's a matter of learning and gaining the knowledge and then tailoring it to your own personality, your own character, your own behaviors and impulses, because we all have our unique strengths and weaknesses. And so you've obviously done that, and you're doing well. This is great. So now it's just a matter of being consistent with it. Sigurds, it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you the best of luck and definitely stay in touch. I'll be interested to hear how you get on.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. So before you go, guys, make sure that you smashing that like button. Show us some love in the comments. Take care, everyone.